What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Keegan and Company podcast. We are a mental health and high performance podcast that has conversations with athletes, professionals, and academics. In this episode, we are talking to Caine Eckstein, one of the great Ironman and probably just multidiscipline athletes. Caine has, won multiple world titles in the surf space. He's had the world record holder for the most amount of chin-ups in an hour and 24 hours, and it's just a really good dude. I've known Caine for a little while. I actually looked up to Caine when I used to do surf lifesaving back in the day. He was a little bit older than me, and he was always winning the Coolangatta Gold. He won his first gold back when he was 19. He then dipped into the triathlon space. Now he's done high rocks and multi-sport, trail running. He's done the whole thing. And so in this episode, we had a really cool conversation around mental resilience. Caine's a pretty tough dude, and he just describes so beautifully how hard work and consistency is the key driver to success. And he's probably one of the hardest workers that I know. We actually had a really cool training session in the morning that you can check out on YouTube. We would have released a whole YouTube episode by now around, we got dropped off by a couple of skis, out a couple K offshore. We paddled in, and then we actually ran home here on the Gold Coast. Visually, it was so beautiful. So if you are interested in seeing a little bit more about that, you can hit us on YouTube at Keegan and Company. If you're new to this podcast, can I get you to hit that little subscribe button? Or if you've enjoyed any of these conversations, it actually really does help us grow the podcast and just have more beautiful conversations like we did today. Guys, hope you enjoy the episode, and we'll see you soon. Caine Eckstein, welcome to the podcast, brother.
Thanks for having me.
Mate, thank you. Thanks for this morning, man. I feel like we kicked off the morning so well. We're out on the paddle boards into a little run. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I was good. I had a feeling I'd be all right. But I honestly didn't know. I knew you could surf, you surf, so worst case scenario, just stay on your belly, as you would know. But it is harder to be on your knees. And we're probably pretty lucky to have that little bit of a bump coming back, so you can just see what it's like. It's different than just being out in a river. And, you just have that little bit of chop, and you've got to angle yourself in different ways to get, to that finish point. So it was good conditions for you. Yeah,
I'm glad you brought it up, because on the call, we've been trying to tee this up for a week or a couple of weeks. And I was thinking it would be really cool to do something. We love doing something with the guests before a podcast. And I was like, it'd be cool to do something in your space, like in the Ironman surf space. And we're like, fuck, let's go out. Because we were originally going to do the podcast on a boat, and then do the podcast and then come in and paddle in. But conditions have been a bit gnarly over the last week or two. So we got up early in the morning, boosted out, maybe a K, 2 Ks offshore.
Yeah, it was probably 1,500.
2 skis, but it was cool talking to you yesterday afternoon. And then I was like, okay, now logistically, let's try and sort 2 skis out. Let's get all the videographers, let's get our crew out there. Man, it was such a cool morning.
Yeah, no, it was good. Yeah. And you can sort of see, that was one good thing about what I used to do, that sort of racing. Conditions always change. You can be a pool swimmer or a runner or even a trail runner and stuff. You can run different locations, but in the ocean, you can have flat, you can have that, or you can have, a cyclonic southerly wind and swell, and you get out there and you're just basically catching 5-foot waves the whole way. It's very, very different. So you get good skills on craft pretty quickly.
Because there were times, there would be times where I would try and get up on my knees, but I was a little bit wobbly, but then you would boost and almost just ride the swell, and you'd be 50, 100 meters ahead of me, and then just sit and wait for me to catch up. And I was looking at all these little things, but you were good at giving tips. You you can ride the waves or ride the swell, and then shorten your arms up and try and quicken up as those waves come through.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's and you forget, you do things. It'd be the same thing. You go ice skate with some kid who's been doing it since he was 14, a figure skater. They're just doing things without knowing they're doing things. Even I've done a little bit of coaching just because I like coaching young kids and, just teaching them things that I've learned along the way. Yeah. But it's hard to say because you know how to do it, but you don't realise you're doing it, and you don't realise other people don't know how to do that, or they don't realise how to do it. So, but when you watch that and you're just do this, and it's good to sort of just say those little things. Whereas I know I just naturally know how to do it with a few different things. So. Yeah, but you definitely got heaps better.
I feel when I was fatiguing my form, but like my concentration. Like I feel like I really needed to concentrate when I got up on my knees. Like when I was paddling on my belly, could ride the wave, like that's fine. But then when I bounced up to my knees, I feel like I really had to concentrate to not fall off.
Yeah.
And then when I was fatiguing, maybe like kilometer 3, almost kilometer 4, I was like, get up on my knees, then I'd fall off and try and get back on. It's like, but then I imagine just with time, that would just be second nature, right?
Yeah. And it's like, because it's the same thing when I coach some kids as well, like, you can just be lazy. So like with those little bumps that come and everything, to like get a bump and see it and then like bang, 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 bang and get it. Yeah. Or you can just go bang, bang and let it go. Sure. And then bang, bang, let the next one go. Whereas it's just being lazy. Like you can get it or you can sort of let them go, but still look like you're paddling, but you're not really trying to like aggressively chase them.
Gotcha.
Whereas like I can see it too. So when like young kids do it, I yell at them and, you know, they're just being lazy. Like you can see that they're not actually trying to get onto it, but yeah, like you started to sort of get the hang of it. But it's the same thing on your belly. Like on your belly's hard as well, but you just need to, whereas like for you as well, it's a resting time probably. Then when you're on your knees, you jump on your belly and you can like switch off a little bit and rest. Whereas like if you're in a race, you have to go the whole time.
The whole way.
Yeah.
Is that a pretty standard session, what we did this morning? Like couple K swim into a run, like a brick session?
Yeah. Like like it's good anyway, like, because obviously board paddling you're using mostly upper body, running you're using your legs. But for the Coolangatta Gold, like that was, like it definitely helps to be lighter as well for that. Like you saw, like with if you got little bumps like that, if you're lighter, you can kind of like skate over the top of them, and then running, if you're lighter, it's going to help. So the Coolangatta Gold, the last 6 kilometers was a board paddle into a 10-kilometer run. So pretty much every year I won the Coolangatta Gold, I got the fastest run. Man. Like I sort of won it in that little back end. So, and you got to teach yourself, like if we just ran straight off the board when we finished the board, you'll find like you have like jelly legs. Like it's hard. It's
kind of like us running off a bike, I imagine.
Yeah,
like in an Ironman.
It's even worse, kind of. I think, just because your legs are so cramped up, like you're using them, but then they're just in this one sort of like kneel bent position for an hour.
Yeah,
and you get off and then you straighten them out. It's just like you just lose like sort of feeling in them kind of thing. You got to like train your body to be able to run off the board. Same as sort of running off the bike, but running off the bike, it's more fatigue. Like your legs are like quite tired. So that's why they kind of like drop down the gears on a bike and they start spinning the legs over just to get like blood in them rather than just like pushing that heavy gear.
And you can't do that on a board.
Yeah, like on a board, they're just stuck. But you can train yourself to do it. So like every week I would do that. Even if it was just like a 1,500 meter run off the board, I'd just like do my board and then just like 1,500, 2K off the board just to sort of train your legs.
Is that just a matter about like conditioning your legs to get used to being in that position?
Yeah.
Or even not even position and running off?
And you can break, like, I don't know, I'm aggressive racer, so I always just think about like just smoking the dudes. So like you can break guys in that bit too, because when they jump off the board, like anything, like you're just being out to sea for 6K or an hour, you jump, you come back into Burley, there's people everywhere, you got your handlers, like the guys that help you kind of thing. So they got a gel, they got water and stuff. And so most people, when they get off the board, they'll see it as like a little break and they'll like, run up the beach, but take a gel, take water. But if you just go, like you can drop them like pretty quickly. Whereas like most people would think that's the point of just like relaxing, everyone have a drink, gel, and then start the 10K run. But if you just go off the board and then get your gel and your water 1,500 meters down the beach on the fly, you just got 50 meters on it.
So you'll do that. You'll strategically put your gel and water a little bit further up.
Yeah. And
do many other crew do that or not really?
Nah, but a lot. I don't know. Like I just always think like I dissect the race pretty well, and that was like good places to gain time. And most people can't like sort of they get off the board. It's just hard to run fast off the board. So like most people can't do it anyway. But like when I did the Coolangatta Gold, after that, my brother did it a couple of years that I didn't do it. Yeah. And I always wanted him to do that, like try and break the guys off the board. But it's harder than it sounds. Like it's not as easy as just go do it. Because that's why like a lot of people can't do it. They get off the board, their legs feel bad and they're kind of like jogging. It takes them 5 minutes to start running well kind of thing. Whereas if you can just sprint off the board, that's like a skill.
Man, so interesting. I feel like there's so many different avenues that I'm keen to talk about today. I'm definitely keen to talk about the Ironman, Coolie Gold, your professional space. Really keen to talk about Dr. Hydrate and building a business where your training goes, like mental resilience and that piece, the discipline piece. I feel like that'll be a really cool theme to go down. But before we do start and get into those things, I kind of want to know like what the key experiences like you had growing up that kind of made you who you are today, where like you are a dog when it comes to training. You do want to put yourself in these positions. What do you think those key experiences that you had that like kind of led you to who you are today?
Yeah, I don't know. Like my dad coached me and my brother, and my dad was pretty hard. Like he like loved surf life, like because he used to race back in like the 80s.
Gotcha.
And
That was
like,
his sport?
Yeah, like he wasn't. It's bad to say, but he wasn't that good.
Respectfully to Dad, yeah.
Like he was a good board paddler, what we just did. Like he's really, I think he got like third in the world champs for board. So he was a good board paddler, but he wasn't the best swimmer. So, but he lifeguarded. That's what he did for, 30 years or something. But he just loved the sport.
Yeah.
And when like my brother, because like I made the Nutri-Grain series when I was like 16, my brother made the Uncle Toby's when he was like 16. So when my brother made it, that was kind of like a high point of like surf Ironman stuff. Like those dudes were making pretty good money.
Like the Nutri-Grain series?
Yeah. So like when I made the Nutri-Grain, there was only the Nutri-Grain, but whereas when my brother made the Uncle Toby's, there was the Nutri-Grain series and the Uncle Toby's.
Gotcha.
So there was two rival series, and they both tried to get the best guys. So like the money just went up and up and up.
Yeah.
So like there was heaps of money in the sport.
Yeah.
Like, Trevor Henny lived on hedges and stuff like that. Even back before then, like the guys were on Baywatch and stuff.
I mean, there was a movie made about the Coolangatta Gold
like
back in the
then,
day.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah, it's a good movie too.
It's a great movie. I love that movie.
It's old school lads. My dad was an extra in the movie. Like he's the lifeguards on the Gold Coast. But so like having my brother make it and it's bad to say, but when I was in high school, like I reckon 2% of like my like time and interest went into high school, like because like you're 13 years old, you got a brother who's 16, just made the Uncle Toby's. When he's 16, he's making pretty good money. He's still going to school, making good money. That's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And like my dad, because it was a good career path like at the time. So like my dad was just so like that's all he wanted us to do as well.
Yeah.
Like I said to you, I'd do surf Ironman stuff, and then the off season, all my mates boxed and stuff. So I'd go and box 5 times a week and do that for a couple of months. Then the coach would like ask me to do like the state novice titles and everything, and then I'd be like, I'm doing boxing. I love boxing. And my dad would like pay me to go back to doing surf lifesaving when I was
giving you like little bribes.
Yeah, like when I was like 14. So like, and I'd like, there's just little things you remember when you're a kid. Like I'd wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and I'd see him like in the lounge, like right up to the TV with his earphone piece into the TV, just watching Uncle Toby's stuff, like at like 11 o'clock at night. Like
dissecting the race, or just a huge fan?
No, dissecting the race,
Gotcha.
and like obviously a fan, but just every night he'd just sit there, from 9 to 11, just watching old like Uncle Toby's Nutri-Grain stuff. Like so, he just loved it.
There's got to be like a bit of that has to rub off in you through just like osmosis, or like even just being around it, right? Do you reckon like, because I mean, you obviously like in credit, like you fucking went to the extreme with it, and you probably more successful than probably anyone else. I imagine.
My brother, it's probably
in the coolie space, in that longer stuff. I imagine.
Yeah.
But I imagine like being around like your older brother who's killing it, your dad froths it as well. I imagine that's probably got to be a huge driving factor.
Yeah.
To want to maybe.
Yeah, for sure. Like it puts a lot of pressure on you, and like I don't know, like I'm someone who puts heaps of pressure on myself too.
Yeah.
And it's just like a way to sort of like make your parents happy kind of thing as well, because like as bad as it is to say, like when your kids are winning and stuff like that, parents are pretty happy. Like they might not say it, but they are. Like they're stoked.
Yeah.
So like it's a way to sort of like make them proud and happy. Like so you put all this pressure on yourself when you're younger, and then like you sort of like deal with it. And obviously my brother was really, really good. So that's just, and I used to always say, now that like I'd done it for so many years, you kind of get over it, and you would rather do something else maybe like at the end of your career. But when you're young and you're into it, you do it for free. Waking up at 4:50 to jump in a swimming pool 4 times a week isn't that fun. But when you stop doing it, you want to go back and do it again. Like you get addicted to how hard it is.
Yeah.
And so like if you weren't getting paid, I remember thinking that if I wasn't getting paid for it, I'd still do it.
Yeah.
So like if you're getting paid to do something you do for free, that's kind of like the ideal scenario.
That's like where you want to be. I remember when I was playing footy, in the preseason and when it was sucked and when it was hard, we're doing big kilometers, or what we thought were big kilometers. Now doing some Ironman stuff, I was like, these are not big kilometers at all. But I remember thinking, I was like, I will never run post footy.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, I don't want to do that. I'm working hard now, but afterwards I'm just going to coast. And then you're a year out and you're like, oh, maybe I wonder what this like marathon would look like, or I wonder what this ultra marathon would look like. Oh, Ironman looks kind of cool. And you're just kind of like craving that little, I don't know, like I guess it's kind of like a feeling where you're like really in the thick of it, or like really in the hurt locker, or like this pain cave. I don't know. It's something that you can't, I don't know, I can't really explain to anyone unless they've been there. Because you know when you've done, like I imagine, you know when you do like the gold, like the Coolangatta Gold sim on a weekend where you might do like a huge 20K paddle into a board, into a run, and at the end of it, you're cooked.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like a weird, satisfying feeling, isn't it? Do you feel that?
Yeah, it's like a euphoric sort of like feeling. And it's like I've said it before, like there's been, like, because obviously winning and beating other guys is great as well. But I know because every time I train for the Coolangatta Gold, I train by myself. So, and I know when I'm going fast, and I know, you know, I've beaten those guys the year before, or 2 years before, whatever. So when I'm going, I know like I'm going as fast as anyone can go in that sort of thing. So like when you do really, really good sessions, it doesn't like it's as good as winning like the Coolangatta Gold sometimes. Like when you're like, when you think, even when you're doing like, you know, you might be a bit malnourished from like the week of eating and just like under energized kind of thing. And you're thinking like, you know, I'm 30K in, I don't think I'm going to make the last 5K. And then you make it and you're by yourself. No one knows what you're doing, but like you get the same sort of satisfaction as like winning and having everyone watch you and getting like things. So you can get that for free multiple times a week. Like you get like addicted to that as well. Like that's just such a good feeling of sort of surprising yourself. And I think for me, for sure, I think like pressure is like a massive thing that you get addicted to. Yeah. Like I love, and you can sort of like create it. Like obviously with something like that, it's, because, like, you know, if you win it 3 years in a row, you're going for your 4th year, everyone puts pressure on you. Yeah. And everyone in Australia is training for these races, like the Coolangatta Gold or something, guys on the Sunshine Coast, whatever. And they're all good guys. Like, you don't just get given the win. So, like, you get all this pressure from everyone, and then you go out and you win or whatever. Like, it's a really good feeling. Like, it's like character building, knowing you dealt with that pressure and you went out and, like, executed it kind of thing. Like, no one's helping you. So... And then obviously retiring and stopping racing, I think that's one thing you miss the most for me was like pressure. And you can sort of create it. Like even with Dr. Hydrate, we sponsored Hyrox. Yeah. And then I sort of did a few Hyrox events. And I remember even just jumping back into that. Like I loved it just for the pressure side of it. Like you can train and even like you're not winning Hyrox. Like there's guys that are like smoking you, but just in yourself, like you know what you want to do kind of thing. And there's times and stuff. And if you can go out and just have a really good race and like you sort of like, you put all this pressure on yourself going into it, you try and eat well the 2 days before, you have like your drinks the day before and you go into it like you're doing like the Coolangatta Gold. Like you put this same sort of like feeling and then you go out and you execute, you have a good race. Like I think you get addicted to that. And I think everyone can feel that. Like you don't have to win to feel that.
I remember Mac Horton said on like, he's like an Olympic gold medalist breaststroker.
Yeah.
Breaststroker? I hope it's breaststroke. Legend, really good guy. But the way he describes pressure was like, pressure's like a newspaper. You can like pick it up and you can read it, or you can just like acknowledge it, put it under your arm and like get on with it. Because I imagine a lot of people can be like crippled by pressure. And that's why I'm keen to talk to you about like, where does your like, almost like internal dialogue, or like what are your thoughts like when you're on the start line, you've won the year before, everyone's kind of expecting you to win. What are your thoughts? Like how do you almost manage that pressure instead of letting it cripple you?
Yeah, it's hard. Like it's easier when you're into it, I think, like for sure. Like, and it's kind of like, because I think like when I did do the Coolangatta Gold, like there was obviously, like that's why I love watching like UFC and stuff like that, because some of those guys have, because everyone in the world's watching it. Like the Coolangatta Gold, you think it's like really, really big, but it's tiny compared to that. You watch UFC or Conor McGregor or something, they got everyone in the world watching.
The whole country.
Like if they blow it, like, but you get guys, I don't know, like it was like I was saying to you, like you start doing different, like the Dance with the Stars thing or whatever, you realize like, people don't really care either. Yeah. Like they might care for 24 hours, but then like in 2 days time, no one's talking about it. Like it's finished. They moved on to something else. So you sort of just accept, you can, as long as you do the only time you sort of feel bad, I think, is if when you don't really prepare that well, and it's like you've like half-assed training, or you've missed training, or you might have even got sick and you missed training in that way, and then you go into like a competition and you don't feel as good about the pressure because that. If you do everything in the lead up as good as you can, and you go into because this is what I sort of learnt later probably in my career, and you go into the competition, no matter what, that's what you deserve to get. Like, as long as you race all right, you're not super unlucky. You might get fifth, you might get fourth, you might get first, but you did everything you could to get there. Like, you should be happy with it. Yeah. Like you're not special and deserve to win everything. Like, and when you're younger, you sort of think that. You know, when you're a kid, you sort of think, I deserve to win everything. You don't. You don't deserve anything. Like, if someone beats you, they beat you because they're better than you, and that's it. But as long as you do the work leading up to it as good as you can do, I don't know. I think that's when you really go into races like feeling confident and it's happy. But in saying that, when you're younger and you got your family and because even like my brother didn't do the Coolangatta Gold a lot of the times that I did it because like it just he wasn't suited to the race that well, so he didn't do it. But I'd put my it's like he was so good, and like he's Eckstein and I'm Eckstein, and I'm the only one doing the Coolangatta Gold. He's not doing it. Like, my mum, everyone's watching it. Like, I'd put so much pressure on myself to win just because just to have my name on the trophy. Like, I didn't want to let everyone down. Yeah. And it's like you deal with that. It's sweet, but like, I don't know, you just have that confidence.
Because I imagine people talk about the pressure that we get from like externally, like the people, almost like the papers, the media. But it's almost like that pressure that we put on ourselves where, like you mentioned, like you don't want to let your family down. You want to have your like last name on the trophy. Imagine a huge part of it has got to be internally, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's why, like, for sure, like, I would get way more nervous in like the 2 weeks leading up to the race. Like, probably 2 weeks out to like a week out, like in that 2 weeks to a week, because you kind of still train, but you're by yourself. So like, you're just thinking of like these worst case, like, I don't know, you're thinking these guys could beat you. But then when you get to the week of and you start like not training as much, you're tapering, you get all this energy, like you just get like, I'd feel like I just want to kill these guys. And then when you get to the beach or the day before and you go and you see them and you just watch them and they're just guys. Like, then, I don't know, the pressure goes away because you see them and you're like, I'm ready to beat you. So like, I don't know, it definitely gets better. The feud, I think, you think it would get worse. Like a couple of days before it, you would start to get more nervous. But for me, like, it would be like 2 weeks out, just because you're still training, you're by yourself. You start to build up these like, I don't know, you just think they could be better than what they are, kind of thing. But then when you're ready to go and you see them in person, it's like, I think fighters are the same when they watch UFC. They say that, when they do the weigh-in and they're like face to face with them, that probably goes away because they see them and it's like they can put like a face to the person kind of thing rather than just being in your head. You mentioned that like having done the work puts you in like the best space for competing and like in like knowing that you've done the work, you're going to be in a better spot. Did you have like a recipe or things that you did that made you have like really good sessions? Because I imagine like the quality of session probably makes a huge difference. Like everyone, I imagine, probably doing like very similar kilometers, like everyone's working hard. Did you have like a recipe or anything that you did that made your session like really quality? Like I think for sure I trained harder than everyone else. And I think that was just because I was like good at multi-sport. Like I did all these different things. Like I've done like just in the off season, did like a 12-hour mountain bike race once, just because like I just like doing other stuff. Whereas like other people, especially like my brother or whatever, just did surf Ironman stuff. Like he didn't do anything else. So when it was like the off season, he just did nothing for like 2 months. He'd go surfing or whatever, but basically did nothing for 2-3 months of the off season, then would start board paddling and swimming again. Whereas I boxed, mountain biked, I'd road cycle with my mates, I'd, do all this other stuff. So
just curious?
Hey?
You're just curious?
No, I just enjoyed it. And I had mates that did other sports as well. So like, I think that helped like a lot, especially when you would go and like, I don't know, I'll just see it like you can build up your big muscles when you're board paddling or swimming like we do. But when you do other stuff, it's all those like micro muscles in between them that if you do these other sports, it's building them strong as well.
Sure.
And I would just always think in my head, like that's my edge. Like if I sort of like did that leading into it and I'd do, 5-hour rode, cycles with my mates. And all these guys are like gangster triathletes, like proper, like good, like cyclists, like living over in France and stuff. And I'd train with them, and then you would go back and race the guys I was racing, and you just always feel like you had an edge. And I think I would, like I'd have that sort of edge, yeah.
Interesting.
And I would get the sessions off them. Like I've done a little bit of training with like Craig Walton back in the day, and he had a pretty good like stable of triathletes, and I'd go the spit and run with these guys like in the off season, and these guys are running good sessions, and I'd just get all these sort of like run sessions, and I'd know what was capable. Like when you're doing, like we were really, really good at swimming, like surf Ironman guys. Like we would swim with Dennis Cottrell, and, Grant Hackett was there. Daniel Kowalski was there.
Was that out of TSS?
Nah, Miami.
Miami, yeah, gotcha.
And like all the Chinese started swimming there. So Sun Yang and everything is like, really, really good 4, 8, 1,500 meter swimmer.
Yeah.
So we were really, really good at swimming. That was like our thing. But like running and stuff, most of the other guys didn't really do that much of it, and they didn't really know, I don't think, what was capable. Whereas I'd train with these triathletes and train with Craig Walton, and knew like on a Friday they'd do 25 400s or something after swimming. So I'd go and swim and then go and do 25 400s at the pool, whereas everyone else would swim and might do 8 to 10 400s.
Yeah. Just
because they thought that was the limit kind of thing. Whereas like I knew you could do more. So I'd never told anyone. I'd keep it so
really
like hush. Like if like I had an Instagram or whatever, like never posted anything about training on it. Just I didn't want to tell the other guys it's possible to do that.
Yeah.
And I would think they wouldn't think. But then it would like you're on the Gold Coast, so people see you.
Yeah.
But like it would sort of catch on. And it's hard to do, so a lot of people can't do it. But for sure, like people didn't think you could train that much and like do that many, like. Even board paddling, like for us, like board paddling's more of a recovery session in the week.
It didn't feel like a recovery this morning.
Yeah, but it is.
I was hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, like it's more of a recovery thing because it's skill-based and stuff like that. Whereas like swimming when you're in the pool, like we smashed each other in the pool. Like, yeah. Like Kai Hurst went to the Olympics for 10K and he was a good Ironman obviously, and like we raced him and stuff, and he never in the surf, like that was a good leg for him, but he wasn't like that far above everyone else. Like people like my brother, even myself in like, most races, like we could stay with him if anything, like sometimes we beat him, whatever. And he went to the Olympics for 10K. Yeah. Like we're good swimmers.
What are your thoughts on like overtraining? Because you said you train harder than everyone else. Like what do you think separates like you being able to like train that hard versus other people who's like, yeah, I want to train hard, but I just kept fucking getting injured?
Yeah, well,
do you think it's a capacity thing? Like, what?
Injury can be a whole bunch of things. Like, most people get injured probably of running, but like it can be the shoes you're wearing, obviously your nutrition, but people would say we definitely don't overtrain in surf. And like you talk to a bunch of surf guys and they could tell you can, like, I don't think you can. Like, because I know Ironman triathletes and stuff like that, and those guys can overtrain. Like they train hard. And I don't know. I think a lot of people are soft, kind of. And I think a lot of people that probably race in clubbies think like they're very, very good, but I don't know. Like there's very difference between even marathon runners or Ironman triathletes, all those sort of guys. Like you can be borderline like overtrained and unhealthy in that sort of way. But doing what surf stuff, like you can train pretty hard as long as you're it's not that hard. Like it's not like I said to you, you split it and you might train 3 days a week, 3 times a day. Like swim, gym, paddle, or swim, run, paddle. That's basically what you do in a day. But each swimming might be an hour 45, like in the morning, you swim 6K or whatever. But the running and paddling or gym and paddling, like they're usually just hour sessions, hour 15. Like you can do that pretty much every day as long as you're going to fall asleep because you're tired. So sleeping well, eating well, and just like getting a massage and taking care of your body, like you'll be fine. Yeah.
After you won your first Coolie Gold at 19, was it? You won a couple back to back, and then you spent a bit of time in the tri space. Tell me how the training differs between like surf Ironman and like tri Ironman.
Yeah.
Big like different Ks you mentioned before, like the tri guys do bigger Ks. How does it vary?
Yeah, well, I think like obviously like there's Ironman triathletes and Olympic distance. So I think Olympic distance is a lot closer to what we did.
Gotcha.
Because they'll just do shorter sessions. Like they pretty much swim the same as us.
Yeah.
If anything, their swimming might be a little bit less. But like their running sessions and gym and stuff, they're probably, you know, a bit shorter. Whereas, and cycling, they don't cycle as much as like a Ironman guy. But the Ironman triathlete, oh, that's like, I don't know. That's why I love the history of like Ironman triathlon. Like all the Europeans, they're crazy.
No.
Like, so they've gone through all these different, like I remember there was a guy, Tim DeBoom, American guy, like, because they just try and have the edge, I think, over everyone. So he just set up like a basement thing, and he had like one of those like, I don't know what they call them, those flow pools or whatever in his basement that he just like has the current and you're just swimming in the current. Yeah. So he had one of them in his basement, his bike on a wind trainer in his basement, and the thing, he did all his training in the basement, everything.
What's
and just
so
like,
random?
Yeah, but it's like, and this is like back, you know, like maybe 15 years ago or whatever, but they all just tried to be like harder, because like Hawaii Ironman is just such a hard race, and I don't think they really knew what it really, like the science now, I think, like with the Norwegians and stuff, they're sort of dialed in what is the best way to win certain things. But back then, it was just like trial and error. Yeah, and there's another guy, because I love the sport. There was like Faris Al Sultan. He won an Ironman Hawaii, and he would just do 1 week, he would swim like, I don't know, like say like 40K a week or whatever. Then the next week he'd ride 1,000K. Then the next week he'd run like 200K.
Gotcha.
And then he just did like weeks of different legs,
Yeah.
like seeing if that worked. Like, because, you know, he thought maybe you just have to do these bulk sort of weeks of one thing. But then like they didn't really know what kind of like worked. They were all trying to have this like mental edge over each other.
What are the Norwegians doing?
Well, they're just... I don't think anyone really knows what the Norwegians do. but they got
success.
they got top 3 in Hawaii. Oh, it wasn't in Hawaii. It was in Nice this year.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they got
I've
first,
watched
second,
that.
third.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
so
sick.
and they all train together, like
Interesting.
those 3 guys, and they got first, second, third
Interesting.
in the Ironman. But they just put all the science behind it. Like they just got scientists and everything. I think they go to like Sierra Nevada in Spain. They just go there for months at a time in altitude, just training. But everything's just like dialed in, and obviously everyone gets drug tested, so like you have to be clean, but then there's probably, you got scientists that know what they can do with like the clean
how
stuff,
far they can
and
push
how
it.
far they can have the clean stuff to push it.
Sure.
Because I was just talking to my mates who's in triathlon, because I don't really know too much about, but there's like the ketones thing and everything. Like there's certain ketones I think now that are really, really beneficial, but they're really expensive as well.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like it might be $30-$50 a day to do it, but like a lot of athletes don't have $50 a day to blow on ketones, whereas like some of those sort of teams, you know, they might be doing $200 a day of it, and just like, you know, and it helps a lot. Yeah.
Sure. Would you ever do Hawaii Ironman?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Now I'm just cruising.
Maybe back in the day.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I do enjoy that, but it's just like the side. Like, same like what you said before. When you were playing footy, you thought you'd never run. Like I remember when I was doing, like when I did the triathlon little stint, I loved cycling, cycling, and I was pretty good on the bike. Like went to the AIS and did some tests and everything, and my bike was way stronger than my running. Like my bike was good. And I remember I just enjoyed that more, even though you're out there for like 5 hours a day. And I didn't really enjoy running, which is like crazy now, because I love running now.
Yeah.
Like if I could just run 20K a day for the rest like of however long, like I'd love it.
Really?
Love it.
That's
like,
so wild.
yeah, like I love running. Like I'm addicted to, and I just look forward to it. Like wake up in the morning, you have a coffee, you just look forward to knowing this is your plan today. I'm going to do this and stuff. I love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I did the pull-up record, I remember I did one at Northcliffe, the 24-hour, and Courtney Atkinson come and watch me.
One of the great men.
I got a good memory. Like I just remember all these sort of things. And I remember like, because I was doing pull-ups every minute, and he come up and I was just chatting to him, and like he just does all these like Red Bull running things.
Yep.
You'll just go and
Big in the trail space, hey?
Yeah, and he sort of teams up with like Tourism Queensland, so he's out like Cairns and all doing all these little trails and stuff, and just like adventure running as a job basically. And he was saying how much he loves running. Like he just wants to run. He'll run for the rest of his life. And I was just like, how do you love running? Like I do it because I kind of have to, especially for pull-ups. I had to because it loses weight. But I love cycling. I like hated running. Whereas like now, it's a few years have passed, but I'm just the opposite. Like I love running. So like yeah, things change. Like, I don't know how it does, but because nothing's really changed like in my life that much. But yeah, it does. What you enjoy doing definitely changes, because like I love running now and I didn't really like it then. And that wasn't that long ago.
Man, it's so interesting, because even coming into this conversation, I've always think, I was like, I wonder what separates like the guys and girls who are like the top 1% in their field, like whether it's surf, footy, tennis, surfing, whatever it is. I was like, I wonder what that is. And coming into it, I was like, I knew that you like dabbled in different sports, like you talked about like the mountain biking, you did a heap of cycling, running, boxing. And I was like, I wonder if like your curiosity in those other sports almost like helped you have like really great success in your like in Ironman.
Yeah,
Any
it definitely
thoughts?
helps for sure. But you can do it. Like my brother was probably the best Ironman of all time, because he was very, very good at the short stuff up to the long stuff, and all he did was that.
Yeah.
So like you can do it either way, but I think for like the race that I was good at, like Coolangatta Gold or something, doing all the other stuff definitely helps, because yeah, it's just to do things tired is different, and to be able to like hold your technique and run fast and do all that stuff tired is a different thing, rather than just falling apart and collapsing, which a lot of sort of guys do. But you learn that from doing all the other stuff. Yeah. And just, I don't know, yeah, if you like have an appreciation for other sports as well, like mentally it helps. Like it helps that I was like so into, I just love sport. Like I love, expect like endurance sport. Like even when the Tour de France is on, like I'll stay, like when it was, it's coming up at last year, stayed up every night just watching it till like 1 a.m. I love like just watching it live on like ABC or SBS or whatever it was. Like I just love that, and I love what they do, and watching the behind the scenes stuff. Ironman, obviously, even like swimming and stuff like that. I love sport. That's why when people like, I have so many fights with my mates, because everyone's got like egos now, and they all, I don't know, and they all got like social medias and all that. And I love people giving it a go and going out. That's why I like love marathons, doing all that, because you watch all these different people doing it, and it doesn't matter. Like, even if I did a marathon, I'm getting smoked by marathon runners. Like, I'm not even close. Like, it's a different thing. But still, like, I can go into a marathon, have the time I want to get, and try and achieve it, and put pressure on yourself, try and achieve it. Guys might want to break 3.5 hours or 4 hours, or like obviously a big one's 3 hours. So like that's a massive goal. Like everyone has their own sort of goal, and they train for it and put all this pressure on themselves to try and do it. And then I hate people that don't do that but think they can do it. And they say, oh, yeah, I could probably do it. And you didn't. Like the whole thing is the training side of it, dedicating yourself to it, putting pressure on yourself and going and doing it. And if you do that, if you don't do that, you can't talk shit. You can't say anything because you haven't done it.
You got to put your hat in the ring.
Yeah. So like I pisses me off when people have that conversation.
We did a podcast with a guy called Ollie Marchon over in Manchester early last year. He's like owns Marchon Nutrition, has like a heap of like physical gyms, but training like a platform as well. But he's like probably like mid-30s. Yeah. But he's a dog, bro. Like he's like, he trains so hard. Like he was in he played rugby for Italy. He played rugby and then moved into like social media. Then he's built Marchon. But same thing, he does like multi-day ultra marathons. He's so jacked, but then he's got like a beautiful family. He's got his gym and he's doing all these things. And I was like, why do you keep doing these events? Like he did the Transalpine event. Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
It's like a 7-day, 10-day, like through like Switzerland, Italy. It's like gnarly race. But he did that. And I was like, why do you keep doing it? He's like, man, I just got to keep feeding the dog. Like I feel like I need to have these challenges or something to strive for. Otherwise, I feel like I'm just like falling behind. Yeah. He's like, and it's kind of like what you're saying, that he's constantly putting himself in the ring. And so when I hear stuff like that, or I like talk to guys like you, I'm like, it's kind of inspiring. And you're like, okay, well, I don't ever want to take a backward step when it comes to that. Like, I think all of us, we do want to keep growing and we do want to be like, we want to be the best we can be, right? Yeah. And even now that we are getting a little bit older, I'm like, I still want to be able to do this shit. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And you need rest. Like, you do need rest. And it's kind of like good to have a rest to appreciate because you can lose track of appreciating what you got a little bit. Yeah. Whereas, like, that's why, like, I've done it pretty much, like done it professionally since I was like 16, but pretty much in my head, I was doing it professionally since I was like 14, putting like pressure on myself. So like, even when, like, cause I stopped racing pretty much on COVID, and then we sort of did Dr. Hydrate. And then once we did Dr. Hydrate, like I kind of like just, cause I was like packing sample packs. I was
Yeah.
doing all this stuff. Like, yeah, I like didn't train for like it would have been a good 8 months of nothing, like nothing, no training at all. And like, yeah, when you're training and going really, really hard, like that's all I wished to do was that sort of thing. And then once you get it, and it is good to appreciate it for a little bit and like just relax, but then like, yeah, I knew I needed to train. Like, yeah, that's not what I wanted to like just to not have a goal and not sort of test myself and have pressure and just feel like fatigue all the time and stuff. Like, yeah, I hated it. Like, but it was good to have a few months of it break, because you need you can't just do it all the time. I think you do have to have rest periods and then like appreciate what you got and then go again. And that's how you sort of like, otherwise you'll probably just plateau and just like not really appreciate it.
Sure.
But yeah, like, I don't know. It's something that I'll do forever. Yeah.
Tell me how Dr. Hydrate started.
Yeah. Well,
Where did the idea come from?
Well, because I did those pull-up records in COVID, basically, because like COVID sort of started, and obviously like surf club stuff, like, because they're, I don't know, it's such a, I don't know, probably like regimented sort of sport. We probably had the biggest break of everyone. Like, it was just like no racing for like probably a year and a half or something.
Yeah.
And no one was really doing anything. And I'd done a pull-up record before, so I was like, I can do, and I had a pull-up bar at home and I could run and stuff like that. So I was like, I'll try and do the 1 hour record, the 8 hour record.
Yeah.
And I had a plan to do the 24-hour record after
I was
that.
going to say, so 1 hour and 8 hour came before the 24-hour one?
Yeah, I'd done the 24-hour like a few years before that, though.
Gotcha.
So I'd done that. And then so I had the 24. It might have been broken by then. But then I wanted to do the 1 hour, the 8 hour, and the 24-hour like a few months later. That was like my plan. And then but the COVID thing just kept on going, because I planned to do it at the Star Casino in Sydney, like originally.
Yeah.
And then like you were in the lockdown for state thing.
Yeah.
So then like I couldn't do it then. And like I think everyone always thought it was going to finish really quickly.
Yeah.
So like when it happened, like you were thinking, oh, 3 months, it'll be all over. So I was just training, 3 months would go by, 6 months, it was a year. So I was doing this like pretty gnarly training for like a year and a half of like 10,000 pull-ups a week, got to running 100K a week. So every week I was running 33K every second day and doing 10,000 pull-ups, and just did that week after week after week after week. So I got like super good at doing pull-ups and like pretty good at running.
Yeah.
And and then I finally, everything sort of like, well, it just got to a point. That's why I did it here on the Gold Coast, the first one. It just got to a point I just had to do it, like, because like the borders kept on closing, and like I was like, I can't keep doing this for like another 6 months. I'd been training for like a year and a half. So I did the 8 hour record, I think, first, like at Pacific Fair.
How many chin-ups is that in an hour? In 8 hours?
8 hours was 4,720, I think.
What does that break down to a minute? What were you doing per minute?
I don't know. I had changed. That one I changed. But the 1 hour record, I know that I did 1,131, and that was 19 a minute for an hour.
That's so gnarly, man.
But that was, the 1 hour one was the easiest one for me. I think just because, like, I don't know really why, because I met Truett Haynes, and he'd done the record as well, like after me. But to him and Doug over in New York, he's like the Call of Duty like world champion, or he was a Call of Duty world champion. He did the 24-hour world record.
Gotcha. Like Call of Duty, like the
video game.
The game.
Yeah. He's like a
world
professional gamer.
But he's also got the
he did the 24-hour. It's been
so-
broken now by
so
Korean,
random.
but he had it. I think they just get. I think it's kind of the same though, because they're just like playing these games for so long and putting so many hours in it. You kind of have to be obsessed with it. Yeah. And then obviously with the pull-ups, you have to be obsessed with it. You're doing, 2,000 pull-ups a day. Like, you have to have this obsessive thing, and he just moved it into pull-ups. And he's a fit guy anyway, and then just got good. And he's a smart guy. I really like Doug. I'll tell you about a phone call I had with him, which is not many people would sort of be like him, which is cool. But anyway, so I did the 8 hour record or whatever, but I was just trying to like lose weight, because like I was doing so many pull-ups, I was just eating normally, but I was putting on heaps of like muscle, and everyone like was saying, oh fuck, you're looking big or whatever. But then because I put on muscle, you're doing so many pull-ups, just every kilo or so makes a difference.
Sure.
So like my knuckles, and because you're like, it's the only thing attaching to the bar is your hands.
Yeah.
So my knuckles were swelling up, and like my knuckles were like twice the size, and my hands were just like stuck like this. But like legit, like I couldn't straighten my fingers. But I'd like committed to doing the record like 3 months later. And then, so I knew I had to change something. So I started like not eating till like 3 p.m. every day.
Yeah.
And I'd just do my 2,000 pull-ups or run 33K or whatever and not eat. And I got really, really good, I think, my body at like just like processing fat stores into energy or something. Because I was like, I was good till like 3 p.m. every day. Then I'd eat and I was just like so natural to me. But I knew Mark Webber, the F1 driver, and he was kind of helping me with either sponsors or location for the record and stuff. And I was just sort of telling him the story of like my knuckles and everything and trying to lose weight. And I was kind of like just mixing all these different supplements together to like make a drink. And like what I thought, I was like it didn't taste good because it was like all different flavors, but I was like 10 different supplements, all different flavors. And I'd sort of drink that throughout the day and then sort of telling him about it. And then a couple of weeks passed and we were like, it's a pretty good idea for a drink. There's nothing really like that.
Yeah.
Let's make it taste nice and see how it goes. And then 6 months later, it was kind of like where it come from.
How did you know what supplements to put in? Or what were the supplements that you wanted to have in there?
Yeah, it was pretty much everything in Dr. Hydrate, but I just had I had caffeine in it as well. Like it was like a green tea or something.
Okay.
So that was the only thing we sort of took out because we wanted like, you know, teenagers to have it or like a school teacher because they've got like no added sugar and stuff. So a school teacher be able to have 3 a day if they wanted and then not, you know, just having like 2 coffees and 3 more so just having heaps of caffeine in a day. So he sort of took the caffeine out and I was putting collagen in it. So I took out the collagen because when you shook that, it kind of like frothed up, didn't like froth that well. So they were like the 2 other things, took out collagen, caffeine. Other than that, everything was basically what's in it. Yeah. But obviously Dr. Hydrate tastes heaps better than what I had. But I sort of just got used to it. And that was kind of like, I don't know, it tasted really bad, but I thought like, you know, when things taste really bad, you're like, this is what it takes to be good kind of thing.
Gee, how times have changed, man.
Yeah. So that was basically how it's kind of started. Then obviously did the records and we launched Dr. Hydrate. And it was good too, because I did so much training leading up to the records. Like I did the records then kind of, like I said, like had that big break of just like, because like when you started as well, like that was one thing we did good. Like we just sent out so many sample packs. Like if you signed up to the website or whatever, we're sending you a sample pack. So I was like packing thousands of sample packs. Like,
and you're doing all that yourself?
Yeah, every day, like in my lounge, like just, and because like I've got like a bit of like, I don't know, it's like an OCD, like I need to finish things kind of like complex going on.
You know what, man? After spending a bit of time with you, I get it.
So like I'd just be up till like 1 a.m. just like because I'd need to finish it kind of thing, and I'd just be packing all these sample packs and obviously sending them out to Australia Post, and you get to know like the ladies that work at Australia Post pretty well. Yeah. And then and obviously like even just like at the start like doing customer service stuff and all that sort of thing. Yeah. And then obviously it's built now, and sort of now I just do like events and deal with the athletes kind of thing, and we've got other people to do that sort of stuff. But it was good. Obviously, like you would know with anything, like to when you get to like a point that it's going well, to like look back at those sort of days and know they were the days you did all that sort of stuff to get there. So you appreciate things a lot more too.
That reflective thing must be, it must be really cool to see, man. Because I imagine it's probably like 5 years old now, 6 years old?
No, it's only 3.
You're only 3 years old? Man, it is crazy the amount of growth that you've had in 3 years.
Yeah.
It is so cool to see,
like
man.
3 years February. So like right now it's 3 years. So it's not even at 3 years. It'll be 3 years coming up.
Well, congratulations, man. It's really cool to see. What's the plan with it now? Do you guys think about like, do you want to go overseas more or spend more time in those markets? Like,
obviously like Australia is really, really good, and like you can build a successful business in Australia, but we just launched in Singapore last week. Cool. So like legit last week, and we sponsored Hyrox, which was really, really good because Hyrox, obviously everyone knows it's like a freight train. Hyrox. So that was really, really good to sponsor Hyrox, and obviously just to have like the team that we have, like we've got a lot of Hyrox athletes now, and then because we're Swimming Australia, which, you know, so we're the hydration partner of Swimming Australia. And swimming's just like such an Australian sport. Like we knew if we do bring it overseas, you want to look back on, you know, we really supported these like Australian sports, like swimming, obviously surf lifesaving. We're like the hydration of like Queensland volleyball series and stuff. So like real Australian sort of sports. And obviously like swimming's really trusted. Everyone sort of looks, you know, and I just enjoy being at those events. You go to those swimming carnivals, see like the young kids that are striving to be like, you know, Cody Simpson's like on board with us. So be like a Cody Simpson. It's just like very, very good events to sort of go to and events I enjoy. But High Rocks, I think, was one of our biggest things to sort of get people trying Dr. Hydrate. Yeah.
Sure. Is there any other sports that you want to go into?
Yeah, like now looking at it, we can sort of like venture into different ones. Like obviously surfing is another one. Like love surfing, and we've got sort of connections with a lot of surfers. And then just marathon running, I think. Yeah, like the whole running athletics sort of thing. We've got like a few team members coming on board now that are in athletics or in marathon running, and hopefully we'll sort of build that up this year.
You said that you mainly look after the athletes now.
Yeah.
What does it take for like a young up and coming kid to like, I guess, be on like the Dr. Hydrate team? Like, how do you choose your athletes?
Oh, I think that's what I'm good at. That's why I like doing it, rather than like you can have like office people, you know, like offices in Brisbane. So you can have people in the office that haven't really been around in sport. It's hard to tell who you should support and who you shouldn't. Like it's not just your Instagram or whatever. Like there's a lot that sort of goes. So I can sort of see different athletes and tell which ones, you know, that I think I want to support, and just even if it's a really hard sport and you're successful at it, even if you don't have like a massive Instagram or something, like I know how hard some sports are, like even like swimming or something, like, and you deserve stuff like that. Like I just remember what it's like when I was like that. So yeah, I definitely like looking after everything that goes through like Instagram with messaging and stuff like that, just because I know, I just remember what it was like being a kid, especially even boxing, like you have like kids that like message you that little amateur boxers and stuff, and like I love supporting those sort of people that really put in the dedication for sports that are hard. Like they're hard to choose to do.
Is there any traits that you've taken over from like the Ironman space that you take into the business space? Is there any things that you look at as like, I'm so glad that I've fucking learned all that stuff from Ironman, because now you obviously Dr. Hydrate's done so well over the last 3 years.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just like the biggest thing you get, especially even just training by yourself and stuff, just like a work ethic. Like you just get like a good work ethic's like everything really. Like if you're a good worker, like it's pretty hard to fail. Like you're going to succeed in whatever you do. As long as you put time and you do it over and over and over and over again, you're going to get good at it. A lot of people they like short-term things. Whereas if you've got a good work ethic and you do it long-term, you're going to be successful in anything.
Yeah. It's like the consistency thing, right?
Yeah. And that's the hardest thing to do. Like we were talking about racing or whatever. Like other people doing it, like other people like to say they're going to do this and they're going to, like, they could do that or whatever. But the hard thing is doing it for 6 months or a year. Like a lot of people can't do that. They can do it for 3 months maybe, and then they kind of quit or they do something else or they drop off or whatever. The hard thing's doing that every single day for a year, like, and that's what's very, very hard, and that's what creates champions basically.
And then you look at that over like 1 year. Imagine if they did it over 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Like you look at not even just the professional like sporting space, but even like academics or thought leaders. Like there's a guy called Matthew Walker, you know, the sleep guy, Dr. Matthew Walker. He wrote a book called Why We Sleep, but he'd been researching sleep for 20 years before that sleep became trendy in the last 5 years, you know what I mean? So he's got all these runs on the board, and then now he's like the GOAT when it comes to sleep. But he's got all these runs on the board, and like, imagine if anything that you do for 10 years. So, and even this podcast, like, imagine how many people start a podcast. When I first started, like, we're coming up on 3 years as well. I remember hearing something like, if you do more than like 26 episodes, you're in like the top 1% of people of like longevity, or 40 episodes or something like that. So I was like, imagine if you were to do this for like 10 years. And fortunately for me, I love having these types of conversations. And you can kind of set it up where you're doing the things that you love. I love training. I want to put myself in these positions. I want to train with mates. So I was like, well, if I train with my mate, and then I get to have a conversation with them afterwards, I was like, that's fucking best thing ever. I was like, I could do that forever. You know, and then you like you said, like over time, your interests kind of change. I was like, okay, well, I'll talk to athletes now, but now I'm curious around like the psychology space and like the performance and like mental performance space. I was like, well, can we talk to psychologists as well? Can we talk to like crew in like the business space. Like,
Yeah,
you know, and you get kind of curious now. I think that's so cool.
Oh, yeah. And if you enjoy learning, like, obviously you're learning so much going along the way. That's what's a good thing about Joe Rogan. Like,
Man.
I think he just really, really enjoys learning and,
Yeah.
like, learning off different people and, like, what they sort of did. But, yeah, like, that's the same. Like, I've always had like I was saying before, like, I would have done what I did for free.
Yeah.
So, like, for me, I knew that. Whereas, like, everyone would come up to me and sort of, like, you know, like, if, you know, I was out having a drink or whatever when I was younger, and someone was, oh, like, you know, you done the Coolangatta Gold, done all that. And they would all say how hard it was. Oh, my God, I can't believe you do this and stuff. And I'll be like, it's actually not that hard. Like, it's all right. Like, obviously, I've done it forever, and it's just a routine. Like, I know that to me, like, going and studying medicine or something was hard.
Right.
Like, or like being an accountant and like having to go into an office from not even 9 to 5. Most of them are probably like 7 to 6.
Yeah.
Like doing that sort of like grind, to me, that's hard. Like doing what I did, like, yeah, you'd have to get up at 4:50 and jump in a pool and swim 6K, but then I could go home and have like bacon and eggs and watch a movie. It wasn't that kind of hard. Like it's a different sort of thing. That's why, like, sometimes, obviously, it's very American and stuff like that. But like, you know, like a David Goggins thing or whatever. Like, not everyone has to go out and kill themselves running. Like, some people, their gift or like what they're good at might be being an accountant or being a, you know, a doctor or being a brain surgeon, doing whatever, and just, you know, doing 3 20-minute sessions a week might be their thing to do. Like, not everyone has to go out and run 20K from 4 a.m. till 5:30 every single day. But, like, you know, like, there's different sort of things. So, like, to me, that was good. But even to them, like, that's their routine, and they think what I do is hard. So, like, everyone, you got to have a respect for what everyone sort of does. Like, and not everyone's the same. Everyone has passions and interests in doing something else. Like you said, you like training and listening and doing stuff. Other people might hate that, but they enjoy doing mathematics or like whatever. Like, people have different passions, and if you do that, and you do it every single day, like you said, for 10 years, you're going to be good at it.
What do you think's the hardest thing about being a business owner now?
Oh, it's like, it is like a unknown, but you obviously know you got a good product stuff, but it's like an unknown stress. Like, if you're just doing a job and you've got an employee and employer, and you know you just rock up and do this hour to this hour, like, that's your job. Like, you get to go home and you leave it at home, like you leave it at work. You got no stress. Whereas, like, you're a business owner, there is that sort of like hidden stress of just continually evolving and like not going backwards and making, you know, the product better and better, and sort of getting out there and the marketing side of it and stuff. There's no guarantees, basically. And obviously, it's a hard thing to be successful at. Like you said, like, not many people do a podcast probably after 5 episodes, but not many people are successful with startups. Like, it's very, very hard. But, like, I think the Dr. Hydrate thing was very unique, that we have like a very good team that are really, really good at what they do, and everyone's good at different aspects of like the whole thing of what they do, and we've got a really good product. Like we weren't like, when like we have like the world's best hydration drink. I remember like when we were talking about what can we sort of call it? Well, like the world's, because they're like, I don't know, I believe there's nothing else that's as good as it. Like, people might copy it and sort of do it, but there's different drinks with like aspects of what we have, but for an all-in-one hydration drink, it is the world's best hydration drink.
How do you separate like the world's best hydration? Like, what makes it the world's best? Because I imagine there's so many different hydration drinks out there now, right?
Yeah. Well, obviously, like, there's a whole formula of it, but taste is like a main thing. Like, you want it to taste good, and one thing that we have done is made it taste good, and now we've got 8 flavors, and they're all, I don't know, I think one thing that everyone would sort of talk about with Dr. Hydrate is it tastes really good. But obviously there's the electrolytes, and a lot of drinks, even like, I don't want to talk about, but a lot of, I don't want to say names or whatever, but a lot of drinks will just have, you know, like replacing sweat. So they got like sodium, potassium or something, like, but like they're losing like the magnesium and the calcium like out of the drink. So it'd be high in sodium, and like it will replace sweat. But then there's a lot of drinks that are like really high in sodium. But a lot of people don't need that just for general training. Like, you might need that if you're going out for a 6-hour bike ride or running a marathon. Like, you're going to sweat a lot, you need to replace it. But just for everyday training, I think we've got like a good balance of the electrolytes, those 4 different electrolytes. And then obviously we've got all the vitamins and minerals as well. So even like probiotics, we've got L-carnitine, which is good for like brain function, turning fat cells into energy. L-glutamine, which is good for like digestion, muscle recovery. So it's got all these. So it's like a multivitamin electrolyte drink, like an all-in-one hydration drink. Yeah. Whereas like no other real drinks have L-carnitine, L-glutamine, probiotics, all the vitamins and minerals and electrolytes.
It's so cool that you've like pressure tested this in like with your like chin ups with like your own Ironman, like your own training now. It's like you start to think, okay, what's the exact drink or what are all the things that I need? And I love that you went through all the iterations of like it tasting shit, like putting all that stuff in, and now it actually tastes beautiful and you put all the work in. I think you've like pressure tested so well.
And I'm not like a science guy or anything either, but like to me, I'm good at trying to like dissect, and obviously everyone's got Google, so you can Google stuff. But like one thing that obviously everyone's had like L-glutamine, like you kind of have that, even being a footy player, like that's just probably one. You have protein, creatine, L-glutamine. That's just like in the little staple of like what you have.
Sure.
But like L-carnitine, I never really knew what L-carnitine like really was before it. But I knew when I was doing the pull-ups, like I'd have a clock like just there, and so if I was doing 2,000 pull-ups, I'd do 15 a minute for an hour. And then 10 a minute for an hour 50. Like that got me to 2,000. So 15 a minute got like 900, then 10 a minute for an hour 50. And you'd watch the clock. So I'd have like a ticking clock because to me, that was better. But you'd have to watch it because if like I just had the clock there and say it was like 60 or I'd have ticking. So like, have to go all the way around. But if I was just chatting to you, time goes really quick. Yeah. Like if I was doing my pull-ups, then I just had Hughie and we were chatting. All of a sudden I'd look at it and be like 55 and I'd have to go up. But if you're doing your pull-ups and you watch the ticking of the clock, time goes slower. Gotcha. Like it goes slower. So for 2 hours 50 of what it took me to do 2,000 pull-ups, 2 hours 50, I'd just like concentrate on the clock. I'd do my pull-ups and if you're doing 15 a minute, you have to try and like do the best you can of not like overcooking yourself. So every little thing counts. So like I just watch the clock, bang, bang, watch the clock, do it. So in my head, I was like, okay, what helps like brain function? And I was looking up these different things and like L-carnitine sort of like come up. So I was like, okay, we'll put L-carnitine like in my drink. And then obviously it worked. But I don't know if it I didn't really, just in my head, that's what worked.
Sure.
And then when we made Dr. Hydrate, obviously we've got like food techs and scientists and stuff creating what we wanted the drink to be, and they were like, like this all like it all sort of like made sense, but to me I didn't know.
I wonder if that would work in like the backyard ultra space. Did you watch the BPN doco that came out, like that backyard ultra?
Yeah.
They did like a backyard, like any type of backyard ultra, right?
Yeah.
And so it's 6 kilometers or 6 miles for every hour on the hour. You just go for as long as you can. I wonder, because there's some guys that will like boost it, like run as fast as they can, and then they might get like 40 minutes off, right? Yeah. And so I wonder if you were like looking at the clock for 40 minutes or 30 minutes, if that would just kind of slow your brain down versus if you're talking to people, you're like, fuck, would we have to go again? I wonder if that would help.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Like change like those guys, because it's pretty incredible what they do.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't think it's possible that I think it's that Phil Gore fella who's got the world record.
He broke it at Dead Cow last year. I'm pretty sure it was for like 5 days.
Yeah, I think it was like close to 6. It was like 125 hours or something. Which like if you said that and like you never watched it, you wouldn't think it's possible.
No way.
Well, I think it's 6.7k.
Yeah.
So it's like 750k or something he did in nearly 6 days. But yeah, they would know, even just talking and stuff, like they would know what they can do to like save their energy. Because if you go for a run and you're chatting, it makes a difference.
100%.
Like it tires you out. Yeah. Like I've done it before with my mates, like being on the bike and he's like, yeah, I'll ride, and like I've run 20, 25k, and then I've got him on the bike chatting to me and I've been running. I'm like, pretty tired here.
Yeah, bro.
Like this is heaps harder.
Yeah.
So like, those there'd be a lot of like just silent running for sure.
Would you ever dip your toe in the ultra space?
Yeah, I do ultras. That backyard thing doesn't seem fun.
No, it seems
that seems horrible.
Yeah.
I've done, we do one every year in Lennox. Yep. It's like a charity run called the Ox, but that's 4.2k, I think, every hour for 24 hours. So you do 100k in 24 hours, which is still like, it's just getting up, and for like 6.7 is obviously harder, but the hard thing about 4.2 a little bit is you're doing the run a bit quicker. So when you're sitting down, you sort of like just like settle in to sitting down. Then you have to get up and run again. Then you sort of like get in. Then so it's still difficult. You're still doing 100K. Yeah.
Like
You can do 100K wherever you want it. After 60, your legs are getting tired. Like, you're still moving your body for 60K. But, like, that one's a good one. But, like, when you finish that and you're, like, dirty and you got grime on you and stuff, like, there's nothing in me that says I want to keep doing that for another 4 days. Like, that seems horrible. Yeah. But, like, 100K race or something would be, good. I'd love to do something
even like
that.
those, I think we were talking about this morning, like those ultra UTMB races, like overseas, like in the States, like running in the desert or running in the mountains. I feel like they would just be so sick.
Yeah. They're hard, though. And that's, that's why I don't know. I love sport, love that sort of stuff, because no one really realised how hard.
Yeah.
Like, even me, like I've like done some 80K runs or 100K. Like 100K really only like that, like broken up.
Yeah.
But like I've done a few like 80 just straight. But I've never run 160, like 100 mile, 160. So I don't even know what it takes to do that.
Yeah.
But like, you got to go out there and do it. Like, a lot of people don't. I don't know. They think it's probably easier than what it is sometimes. It's hard.
Why do you think people are so fascinated with throwing their hat into these like really hard events? Like, what do you think it is about? Because it's almost becoming a bit of a thing. I know obviously it's been happening for a little while, but why do you think we're searching to do hard things? Or why do you search to do hard things?
I don't know. I like the pain. Yeah, like I do. I think even just going through that period of not doing anything, like you get so... Because you can go surfing. I can go surfing and do all that sort of stuff, but like it's not the same. Like, I love that feeling of pain and hurting. And like I've done it in the gym when I've just been like my heart rate's been so high and I've been so gassed, but then you're driving home and you just like, it's like a euphoric feeling.
I was going to say, what is it about it? I was like, why are you searching for this?
It's a feeling though, like, and you just get addicted to it and you look forward to trying to do it again. And and obviously it's like, it's a thing that's free. Like, and then I think most people that don't do that, do it and they like it. And obviously I think social media for sure, like, has helped the whole thing. Like, everyone likes seeing other people, what other people are doing, then they get like a feeling, I want to do that too. Yeah. And then like they might, whereas if we didn't have social media and no one knew, like, it probably wouldn't all come together as much as it does. Like, I think that sort of like brings everyone, like, makes the world a lot smaller and makes everyone know about what's possible and what everyone else is doing, and they want to do that and they try to do that and then they end up doing it.
How do you think the feeling changes when you're doing a race or you're training to, I don't know, probably put it on your Strava, put it on social media, versus when you were doing it behind closed doors and not telling anyone, and it's all kind of just around self-satisfaction? How does the feeling change?
It's similar. I just like that because I just felt like I had an edge. But I like people, I don't know, like, I hate people that bag other people for like posting. I just think it's a jealousy thing when I see that and people are like, why post it or whatever. If you did that, you'd be posting it too, I guarantee you. Yeah. Like, if you went and ran the Gold Coast Marathon and like did a sub 3 hour or something, I guarantee you're going to post it on Instagram. Yeah. Like, people that just talk like smack about other people, they're just little jealous people that don't do it. Yeah. And that's like, I hate that too. Let other people do what they want. Yeah. And like, they're happy. Like, they had this, they got up every morning at 5 o'clock, trained, ate well, went to sleep, didn't go out probably drinking as much as what they did. They had this goal and all these little dedication moments, and then got to the point, got nervous before it, did their goal. If they want to show off and show their family and stuff, because that's one good thing about social media. You might have uncles and aunties in WA and Cairns or whatever. They want to see this stuff. Yeah. Like, if they post that, like, that's the whole thing about it.
It's special, hey.
Yeah. Like, I hate people that sort of like, I don't know, I just see it as like a jealousy thing when people are like trying to be like too cool for that sort of thing. Yeah. Like, people love, and I love seeing, like, to see like to keep up with what all your friends are doing, like, especially that interests me, sport. So I love watching that sort of stuff. I love seeing, even like, you have people in America that like you don't even know, but you follow them. So it kind of like, you know them. You love seeing like what they're doing, and it lifts you up, kind of thing as well. Because like you get and you see what's possible, you see what you want to do, you get inspiration from it. Like, it's good. Yeah.
We did a podcast with James Newbury last week,
Yeah,
the High Rocks athlete.
Yeah.
And exact same thing. When he was in the height of his CrossFit career, he's just like, mate, I didn't put anything on socials. I didn't record myself because I felt like it was taken away from the workout. Like if I missed a time by 5 seconds and I did it because I had to put my phone up. I felt like it was taken away.
But that's different. Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like it was taken away. But he's like, now with the almost like surgence of social media and like the ability to be able to build like your own brand and like live off it. Like, I actually really love like the storytelling element, the documenting it, but then also like linking with really cool crew.
Yeah.
Like imagine how many times could you fly across the other side of the world and just train with cool crew. I feel like that part of it's really special.
Yeah.
And so now where I'm at, because similar, was in a footy space where we wouldn't talk about it, and if you pulling your phone out to train, you just get the shit kicked out of you. But it's like now I love the fact that we can like document it. We can like meet really cool like people. I just think it's a beautiful thing, and I think if you can do it in the right way, I think it's really healthy.
Yeah, oh for sure. But it's like obviously it's different. If it affects your training and everything, then it's probably you shouldn't do it because like you can if you're just doing, then you start doing different things because they look better, and then like that you can't do that. But if you're keeping the same thing and like you're just, showing, some of your successes, if you've done like a big accomplishment and stuff and you want to show that, then, do it. But like, I don't know, I love sort of like just keeping up with what other, and not even professional guys, just some mates. Like I've got a mate who's he lives in Cairns and he's running like the Sahara Desert. He's doing 160K across the Sahara Desert or something. And he's just like a Tyler. Like, but that's his challenge he wants to do. Like, but I love seeing that, like, he's doing these like 80K runs on the weekend and stuff. Like, it sort of shows. And then I think that shows, his mates what's possible as well. Like, and if you don't see that, then you just get stuck in just doing the same sort of routine. Like, it's cool. And obviously he probably saw that because he saw that race on Instagram and saw some other person that did it. And like, that was just the goal he wanted to do.
Man, I linked with a girl called Montana Farris Seaton. I don't know if she's like a ultra runner, trail runner, but she was a model in a previous life. So she was a model and then like did a bit of like a gym coaching, and she saw Ned do his run across Australia, and she thought, I could probably do something like that. And so leading into Christmas, she created this like her run home, which was like 300 or 400K from Sydney back to her hometown. Forgot where it was, but she did it over like 3 days. And she did it, and she got like built this like really cool like social media presence, and then Lululemon picked her up, and she's like a killer athlete. But then she moved into this whole ultra running space and did like the Sahara. Like she's done all these incredible things, and she's like just come off the back of watching Net and being inspired by other people. And so I was just like, I feel like now that we can document it and show people this stuff, it's so cool. Like even this morning, like 5-10 years ago, I would have never said that like we're going to get a couple skis, we're going to boost a couple K off offshore, paddle in, then run home to do a podcast. I would never even imagine that, but now it's possible, and we'll like create a little YouTube on it, and like that's stuff that I like to consume. Like when I was training for the Ironman, mate, I would just like sit on the bike, like my trainer, and I just put on like Ironman docos. I get so froth it. It'd be so cool.
And I think that like makes a difference. If you want to watch that and you're like interested in that, then you're sort of like fine with doing it. Like I know, like I like posting stuff that I know I want to see. Like if I saw my mates do stuff like that, then I'm like, I want like it'd be silly not to post it, because it's like I'd love to see like some of my mates do some of those things. Like cool, trail runs or going out off seeds or doing all these different sorts of things. Like I love watching that sort of stuff, so I'm going to do it. But there is a thing like if you're really, really into like training and doing, like we were saying, like some people like to go on these training camps and not have their family go and stuff. Like there's sacrifices that you can take that mentally give you that little edge, and staying off your phone and doing no social media like might be that thing. And, for that little block. And I know like a lot of like UFC, even my mates, like boxers and stuff, like just a week before their fights and stuff, they'll just take away all that sort of stuff, because it's just like these little sacrifices that get them in the right headspace to do what they need to do. What do you think the biggest sacrifice you had to make when you were at the height of your Ironman career? I think, well, like, because I was doing it like straight from pretty much year 12, like after that, like I didn't do, and I was like pretty, like obviously in the off season I'd drink and stuff. Like I was, you know, like I liked having fun, but during the season, like every year I did the Coolangatta Gold, like I didn't touch out. It was just like and like I'm OCD with things, but it was like, I didn't touch alcohol for 12 weeks before it. So every single time I did it, I didn't touch alcohol for 12 weeks. So I'd just be like super boring doing that. But when you're 19 and you're doing that, like it's not many 19-year-old kids are doing that. Then you're, you know, 21, 22, 23, whatever. And just like not going out, not touching alcohol. All my mates, you know, finish year 12, would go to Europe and spend, you know, 6 months in Europe. I had mates that worked in Greece, like hiring out jet skis and stuff. And I'd, you know they were doing all this. And I was just at home waking up at 4:50, going to the pool Monday, Tuesday, doing the exact same thing. Yeah, I'd go away racing. And in the off season, I'd go to, you know, America or whatever. I have these little like, you know, breaks, but I didn't do what even schoolies, like when schoolies was on, I raced at Southport. So like the Nutrigrain was on at Southport that weekend of schoolies. And so I didn't do schoolies, like didn't do heaps of stuff just because I was just like, and I was like, I wanted to do that. I was so addicted to racing and so like into it. I didn't care about anything else. But when it's all over, you missed out on a lot of that stuff. So even like when I sort of like finished, you try and like, I don't know, like just get a little few things of those back. But when you're, you know, in your 20s and you got no real responsibilities, you can, you know, I had just so many mates that, you know, spent a year in Europe and did stuff like that and just worked whatever job they could to pay for their holiday. Whereas like I just did the same thing from that age to pretty much I finished.
Looking back now, would you change anything?
Nah. Like, and looking back, like that's, everything leads up. And I did, like I said to you, like my mum, my dad, they loved, and my brother, like they loved racing. So like to be able to succeed and do these, like no one can take away those races from you. Like you went out and you won it, and obviously like me and my brother have made Eckstein like a pretty like good name for that on the Gold Coast. Like even just me looking back at that, like I know my dad would be so, because my dad passed away, so I know he would be so proud of that. And like, so I'd never regret. And even everything leads into what we've created with Dr. Hydrate and stuff as well. Like if I went and took another path, like those things, it's like, I don't know, they call it the butterfly effect or whatever. Those things don't happen. Like you can go different sort of ways. So you got to be happy with it, but definitely you miss out on a lot of stuff. But that's what everyone does. Like when I swam at Miami, I swam, Dennis Cottrell was the swim coach. Best swimmers in the world swam at Miami. You know, you had the best, like Australia is one of the best countries in swimming, and most of them swam at Miami at that time. And although they all missed out on that stuff.
Yeah,
like
gotcha.
they all did that. Like, yeah, so like the sacrifices you kind of make to try and be the best at something.
Yeah, I reckon you're like really great at dealing with like emotional stress and like physical stress and like physical pain. How do you go dealing with like emotional stress and emotional pain?
Yeah, I don't know. Like obviously I've had some bad things like happen. Like my dad passed away and stuff. So like, they're sort of things to deal with, and because like I said, like he was so obsessed with it as well. So when he sort of passed away, I didn't really have anyone to try and make happy kind of thing. Because I loved racing and winning, but I definitely didn't love it as much as he did, or my brother. Like my brother, it's kind of like bad to say, but he kind of loved racing and winning for him. Like I think, like he definitely did. Whereas I always loved it for making my mum and my dad sort of happy. Like I didn't need to win as much as him, like for sure. Like as my brother, like I could just see it. Like I was different. Like I enjoyed other things. So then that was kind of like, to sort of get back into it after that and just do things more so for me was different, because I didn't have that sort of like killer instinct that I had when I was just trying to like make him happy.
Sure.
So like you deal with that sort of stuff, but I don't know, like going through things, if you make yourself tired, it takes away a lot of stuff.
Almost like training's like a bit of a coping mechanism.
Yeah. Like, and it would, like, if you're, like, if I was trying to, like, get through, you make yourself so tired, at night you just go to sleep. You don't really think about that much.
Still must be hard, though.
Yeah, for sure. But everyone has hard. I don't know, I'm pretty good at appreciating what I got, and, like, we've got a pretty good life and pretty lucky. And a lot of people have it a lot worse. So, yeah, you take what you have. You don't try not to regret too much stuff. And I know, be a good person and good things will happen.
But I love that. I think it's like, if you can work hard and be a good person, like, you can create the most beautiful life. Hey.
Yeah, and you attract good people. Like, it's not like a coincidence that you have good people in your life and stuff like that. Like, good people are going to get attracted to you because you're a good person. And if you're not, and you've got these other people around your life, it's like, I don't know, if you have the right people, like, I know the people in my life that I like to have are good people that I like really think, that's such a good person. He's so nice. He's going out of his way to really think about you. Yeah. And if you have those sort of people in your, and there's not that many of them, like, you don't need to have 50 different, people in your life all the time. Yeah. You just have a few of them, and, you'd be pretty lucky and pretty happy.
I even start to think now, is like, okay, when I have kids and when like when I have like a family and stuff, I was like, who are the crew that I want to be around them? Like, and so I look around my mates who are all like really hard trainers. They love like building business, and they love like, they're kind of entrepreneurial. They love their thing, but they're also like the best people. They might already be good dads, and they're just like the best, like, whole people. I was like, they're the type of people that I want my kid to be around. I want that, like, their, aunties and uncles to be like, have like this just really cool crew. And I was like, when I think about that, I was like, well, that's kind of the crew that you want to attract. Like, they're the people that I like to be around. I love people who are training really hard, who are good people, and then that like kind of just push you to be better. So having that crew, I think, is so important.
And I think, I don't know, being a good athlete or being really, really good at business or whatever, you sort of appreciate what like a really good work ethic is. And it kind of like, you become a little, like most people do, I think, like humble in what they kind of have as well. Like most people that are like that are pretty humble. And like, it's, goes to like fighters as well. I've got heaps of mates that are like really like professional boxers, like MMA fighters or whatever. And they're the most like kind, humble people ever.
So awesome.
But they could go out and just demolish anyone. But you would never ever expect it. But like, they don't need to like sort of like portray that. Like, I don't know. And it's like goes in all different ways. Like, I think, like dedication, and like you said, like day after day after day, month after month, year after year after year, you realize what it takes to sort of get to that level, and it creates like a humbleness in you that you sort of like, I don't know. And you just got to appreciate the journey. And I don't know, I think some people might, like, I just think if you're nice and you're trying to make other people's life better and you're helping other people, I don't know, it makes you feel better. Like it does.
Well, I spoke to Ali Day in the lead up to this conversation, and he's like, man, Caine was actually a big reason of like why I got into the sport and why I wanted to do all this stuff. But it's just like, he actually, like, not only was like the most like crazy competitor and probably changed the space like in that regard, but he's actually like so kind and actually gave me the time of day when I was coming up. And I was like, that's really cool, because from the outside, like, look at Caine, just a gnarly trainer, like just super just in his thing. He's just like, nah, man, like he will give you the time of day, and he's so good with the kids, like in terms of teaching. So, man, props to you. I really love that.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. But like, that's what I mean. Like, Ali's probably, out of everyone I race, like the person I got along with the most. Just because I think you can just see, like, I'm pretty good with people as well. You can see, you can pick, like, he's obviously like the best at what he does as well. But super, super humble, like knows what it takes to get there, appreciates how, I just like guys that appreciate how lucky they are too. They don't sort of take it for granted. They know they're lucky with, all the opportunities they have. They took advantage of them, but they're still, they're very, very lucky to be where they are. And he's like a guy like that. So, I enjoy people like that. But then there's people that not really like that are cocky and stuff like that. And I'll, because I sort of fire up sometimes, and it's nice to, sometimes you sort of tell people what they're like a little bit.
Did you and Ali ever do the gold together? Did you ever race?
No, we never raced together.
You never raced together?
Nah,
That's so gnarly. Is there a conversation around like who would win?
I don't know, but that's like another thing. Like, I don't know. It's like everyone's good in their different sort of times, and like I raced everyone that I had to race that time and beat them, and Ali raced everyone they had that time to beat them. Like, I don't know, I don't really need to sort of compare myself with with him. And like, I respect everything and I know how hard he works as well.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I wouldn't.
He trains so hard.
He trains
He's
hard.
so dialed.
So like, I would never sort of like, and like I said, like, that's why I hate about other people talking about sport. You can never talk about something if it hasn't happened or you haven't done it. You can't. And I know how hard, like, it'd be like a disrespect to him to say, oh, yeah, I think I could do this or whatever like that. You can't. Like, we haven't done it. And I get along with him. So he's had his wins and then I've had my wins. And it's good that we're both, I think, like, I consider myself a good person and like a nice person. I consider him. It's good that we won it and some other person that I don't respect as much won it. Yeah, I'm happy that it was like, it was us that sort of like took each other out. But we did race. We had a lot of good races along the way,
man. Mate, before we wrap things up, you mentioned you had a phone call with, was it Bruce for the chin-ups? You said earlier in the conversation, you're like, there's a story about Bruce, but I'll come back to it.
Which, Bruce who?
I think it was Bruce. Do you remember, Declan? It was it was just, we were talking about the chin-up world record and you were going over to the States and you're like, I'll tell you this story about, was it Bruce? It wasn't Bruce. It wasn't Bruce. I thought it started with B.
No. You're not talking about Doug. No.
Was it Doug? Yeah, Doug.
Okay,
Sorry.
Doug. Oh, no. Well, it was just, it was another nice thing. Like, Doug's like, he came to Australia a few months ago and I caught up with him. And that's the thing, like, he loves sports so much. He planned, there might have been 2 other guys in Australia that have broken the 24-hour world record. Yeah. So he planned us all to sort of, I lived on the Gold Coast, but one was from Sydney and the other one was from up north, I think. We all sort of came together and there was like 5 of us that had broken the Guinness World Record for pull-ups.
Yeah.
Then we, just met each other. He just wanted to meet, like, we all met each other and just spoke, and we went to like Curra Surf Club, had lunch and a beer or whatever, just like that sort of stuff. But because when I was going to do the record with Truett, we were going to try and go against each other.
Yeah.
Because I remember saying to him, I was like, it'd be cool if we could have like Team USA and then Team Australia going for the 20, because it's such a different 24 hours. You got different pacing kind of thing. Like, and someone could be leading for 17 hours and completely fall apart than the other guy goes. Like, it would just be cool to have someone go against each other. And then I knew Doug just through Instagram. But we followed each other, whatever, and we FaceTimed each other. And I was like, me and Truett are going to do this. But he only had just sort of done the world record. And when you do 24-hour world, like, it takes a bit out of you, like it does. Like, when I did the 24-hour, I didn't do gym for 16 months after it, just because I was just so done.
Over a year?
Yeah, 16 months.
Wow.
I was just like, I ran and everything, did different things, but I just didn't do gym for 16 months. So I was just so, like, mentally just over it.
Yeah.
So, and he had only done it maybe like, I don't know, 6 months before or something. But I remember having like a FaceTime with Doug, and I was like, me and Truett want to do it. Would you want to do it as well? Because he's got like a pretty, like, because he's the Call of Duty world champ. Like, he's got a pretty good following and stuff too. And he was like, I'll do it, but the only way I'm going to do it is if you use my stuff, because your stuff was shit.
What do you mean your stuff?
Like, he was like, your bar was too thick.
Gotcha.
Like, he goes, your bar was 1.3 whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know what my bar was.
Yeah.
I don't have a clue what he's like. And I said to him, I was like, I don't know what bar. And he's like, no, trust me, your bar was this. He goes, you need to go like thinner.
Yeah.
And it'll be better for like this part of your arms. You'll be able to do heaps more pull-ups. He goes, trust me, I'll send you a bar, but you need to use my bar because your bar's too thick and it's not good enough. And he goes, and you were just using like, I was just getting car washing sponges, and I'd just buy them from like Repco and cut them. So I'd get like this car washing sponge, cut it that way, then cut it this way, and then so I'd have like 4 sponges in one like car wash thing, and I'd just put it on my hands and I could do it like that. And he was like, the sponges you're using, no good. He goes like, I've got these other things I get from like this person, whatever, and he goes, they're the best, like your hands won't like rip up or whatever. He goes, I'll send you some, but if we do the record, you have to use my things and my bar, because it's heaps better and like you'll do more pull-ups. And I was like, you're like the nicest guy in the world. There's no one that would say that. Obviously I could use my stuff if I wanted, but he was like, you're not using your thing if it's worse than mine.
Want to do it,
everyone has to be on the same thing, and my stuff's the best, is what he was saying.
Because
Because he's just like a super smart guy as well. He just knew all the science behind it, whereas I just do stuff by myself. I just like try to get it done. But
so what happened? Did you guys all do it?
Nah, well, he didn't. He had like his gaming thing. I think he took like a director position for like a Boston team or something.
Sure.
So he sort of couldn't do it. Then I started training because I hadn't done it for a while as well, like I don't know, it might have been like a year and a half, 2 years or something, doing pull-ups. I started doing it. I actually tore like my labrum, and then I took all the cartilage off my bone in my shoulder and tore my labrum. Yeah. So I was like, started sort of doing pull-ups, and I did it for maybe like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And then, my shoulders just clicking. I was going click, 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 click every time I was doing pull-ups. And I just kept on going through it. I was like, I'll go through. And then like my shoulder would crack like 300 times a day. Like every 2 minutes, I'd go crack and just crack it. Yeah. And then I went and got an MRI, and I tore my labrum. Then like all the cartilage had come off my bone. So it was like the bone, when you tear your labrum, it loses like the suction. So it was like clicking out like that. So I just stopped, So I messaged Truett. I was like, sorry, mate.
I was going to say,
but it would have been really cool.
That would have been so cool.
Yeah.
And like, I wonder if like Rogan or something would have got behind something.
It would have been cool. But in saying that, like I've done so many pull-ups, like I sort of did it, and like I injured myself and stuff, but I knew I didn't love it as much as what I did when I did it before. Like it seemed like a chore. Whereas when I did it before, like I was pumped to do it every day.
Yeah.
Like I was keen to do it. Whereas this, I was like, it just didn't. I didn't have the same like drive to sort of do it. I still would have done it, but it wasn't kind of the same. But it would have been really, really cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, bro, thank you so much for this morning, man.
No worries.
I've had such a cool morning. Like, it's been cool like to train, sit down with you, man. I'm just very grateful, brother.
Yeah, thank you. No, you did well. Yeah, you did well on the board.
What's coming up for you now? You got marathon coming up.
Yeah, obviously, Dr. Hydrate will keep on going, but I want to try. I'll definitely try and do the Gold Coast Marathon.
Sick.
Yeah, and then like I was saying to you, I'd like to do like an overseas marathon, like maybe Berlin or something.
Bro, I'll see you there.
Yeah. And probably Brisbane High Rocks in April.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, man, thanks for this morning, bro. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you.
Bro.
No worries.